am for efficient imperialism. Send the Blackhawks, kidnap one guy.
Efficient imperialism. Bro, you realize that George Bush said mission accomplished after 6 weeks in Iraq? And he said, we're done. We're mission accomplished. We did it. Everything's over. 6 weeks. 6 weeks. And you're telling me that this is over now? The vice president of Maduro's government still in charge? The interior minister is still in charge? The military is still intact, minus however many got killed? 40, 80, something like that, and some civilians. And the Venezuelan people are unified now, just like the Israelis unified the Iranians when they attacked them. And they're pissed off. The Venezuelans are pissed off in the streets, protesting all across the country. That's efficient imperialism? No, that's hit and run. You just went in and took the president, left everything else intact, and now they're threatening secondary strikes, occupation. Same thing as George Bush in Iraq. Give me a break. I've always had good relations with the Tate brothers, right? I've maintained good relations, and I don't agree with everything they say. But they've had some very good stances. I will admit that, whether it's on the Russia conflict, the NATO proxy conflict against Russia, whether it's about the U.S. MI6 dirty war on Syria, whether it's about Gaza, Lebanon, Iran, they had great positions on those issues. Even China, they have great positions on China, right? And, I don't know what it is. I think, personally, I think that Andrew Tate, he did this big fight in Dubai or something, and he got, he lost the fight. I don't know if he got knocked out or what happened, but he lost the fight. And then he comes out now and he's trying to win clicks or something. And he's winning clicks, I guess, at the hands and the lives of American service members who will potentially be occupying Venezuela and getting blown up by Marxist guerrilla groups and the Venezuelan militias and the Venezuelan military. Really, I have no sympathy for anyone who does that. This is absolutely stupid for anyone to argue that the U.S. should occupy Venezuela. Absolutely stupid. It's going to create millions of migrants. And it's even dumber for someone like Andrew and Tristan Tate to argue this because they themselves were victim of a smear campaign by Western governments, which ended up with them locked in prison in Romania, in a Romanian prison, all of their assets seized. And for them to come out now and attack Maduro and to say, well, you're weak, so you should be overthrown and stuff, and it's might is right. Well, might is right for what? Might is right for, the raping and pillaging and plundering of Venezuela? Is that, maybe Andrew Tate, he got knocked out in that fight and he had a few screws that came loose. I don't know. Because, supporting the Venezuela operation by Trump and occupation of Venezuela, that actually falls directly out of line with the opinions and political beliefs that Andrew holds and Tristan holds when it comes to Syria, Gaza, Iran, Lebanon, China, Russia. Based on all those issues, but then on Venezuela, he's saying, go send Gen Z to occupy Venezuela and, watch them get blown up by FARC guerrillas, by ELN guerrillas. It's like, what are we doing here? So take a look at this. I was so shocked to see this. He posted this video earlier today.
Fuck Venezuela. Take all their shit. I'm against these long, prolonged, boots on the ground, let's launder trillions, thousands of death, bullshit wars, Afghanistan garbage. I'm against that. But I am for efficient imperialism. Send the Blackhawks, kidnap one guy.
Efficient imperialism. Bro, you realize that George Bush said mission accomplished after 6 weeks in Iraq? And he said, we're done. We're mission accomplished. We did it. Everything's over. 6 weeks. 6 weeks. And you're telling me that this is over now? The vice president of Maduro's government still in charge? The interior minister is still in charge? The military is still intact, minus however many got killed? 40, 80, something like that, and some civilians. And the Venezuelan people are unified now, just like the Israelis unified the Iranians when they attacked them. And they're pissed off. The Venezuelans are pissed off in the streets, protesting all across the country. That's efficient imperialism? No, that's hit and run. You just went in and took the president, left everything else intact, and now they're threatening secondary strikes, occupation. Same thing as George Bush in Iraq. Give me a break.
In and out, 45 minutes, get trillions. Bro, let's take all of it. Let's take Colombia. Let's take Mexico. Let's take all of Europe. Bro, I wish America would just invade Europe. Take Greenland. What the fuck are Denmark going to do?
Take all of Latin America? For what? Are like to improve their standard of living or to rape, pillage, and plunder? Because you do that, you're going to end up like every other empire throughout history that had no unifying bond, that did nothing but mutilate and torture the citizens it reigned over. What do you think is going to happen? You think the Venezuelan people have had decades of anti-imperialist struggle and they have backbones in this country? They have spines in this country? You know, their entire national condition is based upon the Bolivarian Revolution freeing themselves from the Spanish. You think that they're just going to say, oh, the U.S. military is here. Let's get some arepas. Let's all watch them take over our country and plunder our country. Are you that stupid? I know you're not that stupid, because this guy was the one that exposed, you know, he was very prevalent exposing the NATO proxy war on Russia, the CIA U.S.-backed dirty war in Syria. He's not that stupid. He's lying to you.
What the fuck are Denmark gonna do? Nothing. Take their shit, bro. Take it. Why are we leaving South America to these fucking South Americans, these fucking Mexicans? Anyone with a brain knows Mexico and below is all one big Mexico. Just a bunch of fucking Mexicans. I'm from Argentina. I'm from Colombia. I'm from Honduras. You're a bunch of Mexicans. If you saw a man from Honduras breaking into your car and you called the police, you'd be like, hey, there's a Mexican breaking into my car. They're Mexicans. Leaving it to a bunch of fucking...
Yeah, bro. Most cutting edge political ideology out there. Let's just make racist jokes and, let that fill the void of our retarded analysis of why it's a good idea to send U.S. occupiers into Venezuela. Most retarded thing I've ever, you understand he has no leg to stand on. He has no feet to stand on here. He's saying like, oh yeah, let's send in Gen Z to go and get blown up by these Venezuelan guerrilla groups. And it sounds crazy. So then he resorts to just like these like funny remarks. And it's because he doesn't have an actual argument. Okay. I mean, anyone can just like say something funny and stupid. And it's like, okay, yeah, funny, stupid, whatever. But what about, let's go back to the point where you said we're going to send Gen Z soldiers to go and put boots on the ground in Venezuela and occupy the country that we just pissed off to the nth degree by kidnapping their president. I'm sorry, but I've got a bunch of military age friends, bunch of military age males who are my friends, and none of them are going to look at what he just said and be like, oh yeah, bro, that was actually so funny. I totally forgot about the fact that I'm going to have to go fight in Venezuela now. I'm going to have to go fight these people that have been in the jungles, living in the jungles for decades on end, waiting for the moment that they'd get the opportunity to wage a direct conflict against U.S. soldiers. They've been waiting for this. These people living in the jungles they're building up these IEDs. They're all strapped with AKs. The ELN literally put out a statement after Maduro was kidnapped, and they said, for us, dying for the homeland is not dying. It's truly living. You want to talk about real martyrdom? You want to talk about what real vengeance looks like? Send your U.S. forces. Send your U.S. forces to Venezuela, and I will go long on the publicly traded stocks of the company that produces coffins for U.S. military personnel. Because I don't support U.S. military personnel going in. I don't support U.S. military people dying. I'm fighting against that. I want U.S. military personnel in America protecting our borders. I don't want anyone dying. But you got people like Tate coming out and making jokes to try and convince you that U.S. soldiers should go die in another endless war. You got Tate trying to convince you from wherever the hell he is. He's in the UAE sitting with the Zionist king of the UAE, the Abraham Accord king of the UAE or whatever, telling you that Gen Z should go fight and die in Venezuela so shareholders of ExxonMobil and BlackRock get just a little bit richer. Go fuck yourself.
Papacito. What are they even doing with these countries? Papacito, Shakira. They got all these countries, all this oil, and you talk to them for 5 minutes, and they're just fucking dancing around. Papacito. Fucking...
Yeah, they're just dancing around. It's totally not like they've been sanctioned for decades. And when there was visionary leaders like Alex Saab who worked to actually, go around those sanctions, they downed his plane in Cape Verde. They arrested him. Then they encircled Cape Verde when Cape Verde wouldn't extradite him to the United States. Venezuelan leader who evaded sanctions so Venezuelan people didn't starve to death. They encircled Cape Verde when he was held there in a prison there on U.S. orders with U.S. Navy assets. And then they said, we're going to blow up Cape Verde unless you extradite him to the United States. They took him to Miami and tortured him there for years. That's what happens when Venezuelans try to evade U.S. sanctions and build their own assets and develop their own resources. That's what happens when someone says, no, we're not going to let our countrymen starve. We're actually going to do something about it. They do that. They torture him. They threaten to blow up countries that refuse to extradite him. That's what they do. Sanction for years, proxy conflict for years, hybrid war for years, countless coup attempts in Venezuela, assassination attempts on Maduro's life. That's what they do. This is so stupid.
It's fucking stupid. Take their shit, Rev. Send the army. Take their shit. Fuck these people. America should take everyone's shit while it's still capable. While there's a few white guys left.
I can't even watch this whole thing. The truth about Venezuela, bro. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Boomer-coded stupid logic here. Boomer-coded John McCain, George Bush, Lindsey Graham, gay-ass arguments. Go back to the UAE with your Zionist king. I said... So Sneeko responded to this, said, after October 7th, you ridiculed Ben Shapiro for encouraging war from the safe comfort of a podcast studio, and today in Romania, you do the exact same. 100 innocent lives were already lost with far more to come. Oil isn't extracted overnight. It's not too late to change your stance. I agree. Change your stance, Andrew, and I'll say that, you're right. I'll say you're right. Take back your stance, bro. Bruv, you're acting a little bit retarded, aren't you, bruv? He said, this wasn't a war. I'm anti-war. This was choosing a leader by Blackhawk instead of election rigging to control resource. Welcome to planet Earth. Is he drunk? This happens all day, every day. That's why you live in a nice, rich country. You just don't understand how the world works yet. I said, the entire Maduro government, Venezuelan military, Venezuelan People's Militia, and ELN-affiliated guerrilla groups are still intact and hungry for blood. How will Trump now run Venezuela without a military occupation and continued ops? Have you not heard about Iraq, Libya, Syria, Afghanistan? He said they sold him out. Okay, bro, did the millions of Venezuelans that are protesting in the streets sell him out? Did the guerrilla groups that are hungry for blood in the jungles of Colombia and Venezuela sell him out? Who don't answer to anyone in political or military leadership in Venezuela, did they sell him out? Right? Did the entire Venezuelan military sell him out? That's not how this stuff works. It's not like millions and millions of people sold him out. All that happened was someone sold him out. Maybe several people sold him out. Probably very high-level senior people. CIA assets. They bombed the hell out of that military base. I saw the satellite images of it today. Crazy what they did there. And they also had the CIA go in and shut off the entire electricity. All communication broke down. By the time Maduro's gone, they get the communications back up, electricity running, and Maduro's gone already. So what? This guy is telling you that no one's loyal to the Venezuelan revolution because Maduro got captured. You just don't understand how this works. You don't even understand the fact that, okay, if someone sold him out, the Venezuelan military is going to be very pissed off about that when U.S. occupiers come in, and you don't think that they're going to revolt against a leader who would say, stand down, don't do anything. You don't think they're going to revolt against, you don't think they're going to factionalize. You don't think there's going to be a massive war that breaks out. Are you that stupid? I can't believe that you are that stupid. There's 0% chance that you are that stupid. They just sold them out, so there's not going to be a war when the U.S. comes in and occupies. There's no way that you are that stupid. Before you leave, I want to say thank you for the support, because after 2 years of being banned, we are finally back home on YouTube. So be sure to subscribe to our channel and also join as a member on our channel using the link at the top of the description. I rely on the generous support of viewers like yourself to get the truth out to as many people as possible. You can also support the show on Locals or Give Sin Go. The mainstream media and the powers that be are never going to stop attacking us for bringing the truth to as many people as we do. Thank you so much for your support.